I see you. I feel you. When someone asks, "Who's your favorite singer?" many would say Celine Dion. And if you think about it, the story of Celine Tam, named after that legendary voice, is both inspiring and deeply moving. Celine Tam's rise to fame was dazzling, but her journey also took a heartbreaking turn. It wasn't just the sudden loss of the spotlight that changed everything for her. Behind the applause and the roaring crowds was a harsh reality, one nobody anticipated. This reality challenged the young star in ways that put her very future in the music industry at risk. What she has to face now could be her toughest struggle yet. Let's rewind and start at the very beginning. Born on November 22, 2007 in Hong Kong, Celine Tam was practically born into a world of music. Her family's household could almost be described as a living jukebox. Her father, Dr. Steve Tam, was a music teacher who dedicated himself to nurturing musical talent, and her mother, Xin Xia, made sure there was always music playing somewhere in their home. Music wasn't just background noise, it was part of their daily lives. The family's deep love for Celine Dion was so strong that they named Celine's younger sister Dion. That's how committed they were to the legend that inspired them. From a young age, Celine walked a delicate line between being lovingly coached and professionally trained by her father. He worked to nurture her natural abilities without letting her become overwhelmed or burned out. This careful balance helped her develop a mature, seasoned singing style despite her young age. Her big break came in 2017 when she auditioned for America's Got Talent. At just 9 years old, she stood on a stage that would be intimidating for any adult, let alone a child. But when she sang "My Heart Will Go On," it was as if the world stopped to listen. The audience was captivated. The moment was so powerful that guest judge Laverne Cox hit the golden buzzer, sending Celine straight to the live shows. What had started as a simple audition transformed overnight into international stardom. She was no longer just a kid singing in the car, she was a global sensation. Suddenly, she was performing on television shows, in singing competitions, and at prestigious events. For a while, everything seemed perfect. It looked like she was on a one-way ticket to the top of the music world. But just as quickly as her star rose, it began to fall. Her run on America's Got Talent ended unexpectedly when she failed to make the finals. The shock was palpable. She even asked herself in disbelief, "Is it me? Is it really me?" The answer was devastating. Yes. How could the little girl who wowed audiences be eliminated so early? The truth lay in the unforgiving nature of televised competitions, audience votes, behind-the-scenes politics, and sometimes the unpredictable tastes of the judges. Even though she was incredibly talented, talent alone didn't guarantee success. Simon Cowell praised her growth and potential, but Mel B was harsh, calling her performance too theatrical. The crowd booed Mel B's critique, but the damage had been done. Despite positive feedback from other judges, the votes weren't enough to save her. So what happens to a child star after their time in the spotlight ends? For Celine, it was a confusing mix of triumphs and disappointments. Returning to Hong Kong, she was greeted with celebrations and warm welcomes. But once the initial excitement faded, she faced the daunting task of sustaining her career. She kept performing, appearing at high-profile events like the 2017 Miss Hong Kong pageant, and competing in the 2018 Chinese competition Singer, where she went head-to-head with professional vocalists. While she impressed audiences, the path wasn't without obstacles. Her collaborations with fellow young singer Jeffrey Lee were a highlight during this period. Their duet, "You Raise Me Up," went viral, attracting attention and praise. Their chemistry was undeniable, and their performances showcased their immense talent. But even viral fame has its limits, and neither of them was able to secure a long-term position among the music industry's elite. The entertainment world is unforgiving. Maintaining relevance is far more difficult than gaining initial recognition. 2. Years after her breakthrough, Celine was given another chance to shine on the international stage during the World's Got Talent special in 2019. This event brought together some of the best performers worldwide, and she gave a heartfelt performance that earned her yet another golden buzzer. For a brief moment it seemed like this might be her big comeback, but once again the ultimate prize slipped through her fingers. It was a frustrating pattern, always close, but never quite reaching the very top. This is a painful truth in show business. No matter how many talented individuals there are, only a small percentage actually make it to lasting fame. And throughout it all, Celine was still a child trying to live a normal life. Fame at such a young age is a double-edged sword. While she attended events and trained intensely, she also had to navigate school, friendships, and the typical challenges that come with being a preteen. Her father's role in her life remained significant. He was her coach, manager, and protector. But even with his support, balancing fame and childhood was incredibly difficult. Social media became her lifeline to fans, with her Facebook page regularly updated to keep followers engaged. But despite her efforts, public interest waned. The international sensation of yesterday gradually became more of a local star in Hong Kong. Being a child star sounds glamorous, but the reality is often lonely and unforgiving. One day you're in the global spotlight. The next, the world moves on to the next new thing. Her talent was never in question, her voice was extraordinary. But the entertainment industry is brutal, especially for young performers. It chews them up and spits them out. For every young star who succeeds, dozens fade into obscurity. For Celine, it wasn't a lack of talent or passion. She still had the voice that captured hearts, but once the buzz of America's Got Talent died down, the reality of fewer opportunities set in. The golden buzzer, the confetti, the applause, all that magic faded. And with it came the real challenge: staying relevant in a world that quickly forgets yesterday's sensations. This phase of her life, the after the spotlight story, is about survival. Celine kept performing, kept improving, and kept fighting for her place. She still has the potential to reclaim the spotlight, but for now, her story is about weathering the highs and lows of early fame. It's about trying to make her own mark in an industry always hungry for the next big thing. No longer was she the novelty act who amazed audiences on America's Got Talent. She was just one talented voice among many, trying to build an identity and career beyond the initial burst of fame. Her father's influence was still central, but it came with its own challenges. The pressure to succeed was enormous, and critics accused him of pushing her too hard. The truth was more complex. He wanted what was best for her, but was navigating an uncharted path without any guidance. Meanwhile, Celine had to face the typical struggles of adolescence. While other kids focused on homework and socializing, she balanced vocal rehearsals, stage training, and networking within a demanding industry. She attended school in Hong Kong, but her experience was far from ordinary. Some classmates admired her, others treated her differently, and fame sometimes felt isolating. Sleepovers, weekend outings, and other simple teenage pleasures were often missed due to professional obligations. Despite these sacrifices, she found moments of happiness and fulfillment in music. Her love for singing was evident every time she stepped onto a stage. The sparkle in her eyes when hitting those soaring high notes and the pride she showed after a great performance made it clear, despite the difficulties, this was her passion. But passion comes at a cost. The pressure mounted steadily. The demands of a young star balancing childhood and career were immense. The path ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: Celine Tam's story is far from over. She is still young, talented, and determined. Her journey is a powerful reminder that behind every bright spotlight is a complex, often difficult reality. Her fight to maintain her place in the music world is ongoing. The entertainment industry may be ruthless, but Celine's voice and spirit remain strong. What lies ahead is uncertain, but if her past is any indication, she will continue to rise, fall, and fight back, because that's what it takes to survive and thrive in the world of fame.